What's up, y'all? Emmanuel Forbes recently had an interview with Fred Smoot, and in that interview, he covered a lot of questions that a lot of people have been asking. Like, one of those being his weight. And a lot of people felt like he wasn't going to have that much of production when it comes to tackling because he's small. But he pointed out the fact that he had 140 tackles in college in 3 years. And, when I looked his stats up, he had 150. So, I mean, that's a decent amount, throughout 3 years in college. That's a beautiful amount to have. So you can see that he's a great tackler. And he also, by watching his film, you can see that he does great at tackling. So I don't think that's going to be an issue for him. And, Fred Smoot brought up when he plays a big running back like Derrick Henry, what is he going to do? But he basically said he's been physical, and, that's not a problem at all. And we're going to see what happens because, this season we play the Seahawks, and when we play them, he's going to probably have to line up against, what is his name, big wide receiver, DK Metcalf. He's going to have to line up against him. And he might have to, So we're going to see what he can do and if he can tackle him because, a lot of people struggle when it comes to him. So he also pointed out the fact that he studies a lot. So, and that's been a huge issue, like when we draft people, we want to know that can they come over and replicate what they did in college and, really make that shift, make that change and really still show the same talents that they had in college or even more. So I think him studying and always studying is going to be a great key to him still making those same interceptions, making those same turnovers, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's possible for him, and I feel like he can do it, especially knowing the fact that he also spoke out about the defense that they ran and how they did multiple coverages. They learned multiple coverages. So Jack Del Rio's defense is no different than what he did while he was at Mississippi State. So he said only difference is the terminology. And, I could just tell that, his transition is going to be great because he's already familiar with the plays and, just the play style. So all he has to do is just learn the terminology. And I think just studying each and every team that he goes against and who he's going to be lined up against, I think he's going to be great, and he's still going to replicate those same interceptions. I feel like he's going to be able to have a nice, smooth transition to the NFL. So I think it's going to be great. And also, even Jahan Dotson even came out and spoke about the fact that he see why he was so hyped up, like why everybody made him to be a great draft pick. So if Jahan Dotson even said it, then you know what that means. And also Terry McLaurin, played against him in practice. And just think about what practice does for your actual gameplay. When it's time to have a game, once you have practiced in so many ways, you can't do nothing but be better, because you know what to look out for. Especially going up against the best. And the best best wide receiver on our team is Terry McLaurin. And I seen in one of the videos that Emmanuel Forbes got beat on the play and Terry McLaurin caught the pass. But that's nothing to be worried about because that doesn't mean that he's not doing great because, he shut down Jahan Dotson on one play. But that's only what they're showing you. They got to show multiple plays. So, they give us something to be hyped about. But ain't no telling what they not recording. They probably not recording the catches that Emmanuel Forbes is making over Jahan Dotson or making over Terry McLaurin or Curtis Samuel. You know what I'm saying? So we're not seeing everything. And, just because what they show us, that doesn't mean that's all he has to offer, And I really can't wait to, camp start up again because then that's where everything really boils down to. That's where people start getting cut. That's where people start getting that starting role, getting that official position. You know what I'm saying? So he still got a lot of time to prove himself. And just because he get beat on one play don't mean he's going to do great on the next play. And it's just practice. Right now, I'm sure they're giving it all because of Eric Bieniemy, and he's not taking nothing less. So without a doubt, I know they're going to be at their best when the season starts up. So I'm not worried. And especially knowing that he knows the defense already and he's familiar with it, he just doesn't know the terminology. I think that's more of a reason why he should start. And I think that's more of a reason why I don't have any worry when it comes to him playing in the game, because I feel like he's going to do great. He just has to, just perform. That's all he has to do. And he just has to continue to study each team when he plays them. So, with that being said, I feel like he's going to have a great season. And, I got him at least getting 4 interceptions this season. And, I'm excited to see what's going to happen, especially when we got so much coming up. It's a possibility that we might be on Hard Knocks this season, because it seems like everybody has, came out and spoke about how they didn't want to be on Hard Knocks. So it could be us. We'd like the last option. But I can't wait to see. I feel like it's between the Jets and us. But if the Jets continue to say that they don't want it, it's going to be us. And I'm excited to see what's going to happen in the offseason. That gives us a time to really see like what they did to make it to where they are now. You know what I'm saying? And I keep seeing a lot of people saying that Ron Rivera might be getting out of here. And, they said that when he played for the Panthers, he got cut halfway through the season. And they saying that because of Josh Harris coming in, he might have something else in mind for this team if Ron Rivera is not doing great in the first half of the season. So hopefully he doesn't get cut. I feel like if he does get cut, it's going to probably be Eric Bieniemy who's going to be in that spot, that number one head coach spot. So, I just feel like Eric has done so much in just OTAs and minicamp that I wouldn't see why the team wouldn't rally around him being that head coach. You know what I'm saying? So, and he's pushing everybody, even on defense, So, because, even though he loves offense, he still works on defense as well. And he's pushing everybody, whoever he sees not giving it their all. He wants you to be accountable, responsible, and he wants you to be there for the next man, and not be selfish and not just think about you. So I think that's a huge factor that plays a huge role in especially a team game. When it comes to a team, building a team, you need to have those traits. So Eric is doing a great job with this team, and I'm just excited for Emmanuel Forbes, because the number one thing was, that the number one things that get you to start in your first year is knowing the coverage, knowing what the defense is doing, and knowing where you fit in, and, also knowing somebody else's job, because that gets you put in, you know what I'm saying, and not on the bench. So I'm excited for that, and I'm excited for this year, and I just can't wait to the first game. I'm excited about preseason, and then also he spoke about his weight and how he feels like it's not a huge issue, but it's something he thinks about. But people in his corner have been telling him that over time it's going to change. It's just he's still young, and it's going to just take some time. And we all have seen somebody that's 40 but look 20. You know what I'm saying? Like, they still look like they can still fit their high school clothes. And that's just because people got like high metabolisms, and you just can't, sometimes you just can't, disrupt your body to allow your body to, eat more, or just, look a little bigger than you are. It just happens sometimes. So, and then of course of having a high metabolism for so long, it's gonna be hard to break that down, and really, who knows what you're gonna look like. But I also seen people that like in their 50s, and then the weight just hit them out of nowhere. So, who knows what's gonna happen? But I don't think that's gonna be a big issue for him, especially for like another person on the other side of the field, which is Devontae Smith, his rival. He's skinny, and people had a lot of doubt on him when he came into the league, and he's been doing a great job, and he still looks skinny. You know what I'm saying? So it's not an issue. I feel like it's only an issue if you make it an issue. And I feel like he's doing a great job, and I just can't wait for Emmanuel Forbes to kill it this year. And I know he's gonna get them 4 interceptions without a doubt, especially if he's starting.